Welcome back to the College Essay Advisors podcast about the Yale Supplemental Essays. I'm Stacey Brooke, and I'm the founder and chief advisor at College Essay Advisors.
And I'm Becca Myers. I'm Director of Advising at College Essay Advisors.
Let's pick up where we left off with Yale's short answer questions.
Okay, so now we have these short answer questions in no more than 200 characters. Holy hell. Teeny tiny answers, about 35 words. So this is like rapid fire. This is the rapid fire round. I love these questions. I think they're like just a little more brain teasery. And these are ones where with students, I'll often have maybe like 6 or 7 conversations where we just like spitball a bunch of ideas until we find the thing that works and that hits. Okay, here they are. What inspires you? If you could teach any college course, write a book, or create an original piece of art of any kind, what would it be? Other than a family member, who is someone who has had a significant influence on you? What has been the impact of their influence? What is something about you that is not included anywhere else in your application? Okay, we'll go first. What inspires you? We'll go first. We'll go with the first one. What inspires you? This could be anything.
This application.
This application. That is a clever answer, but maybe not a good one. This can be a person, a place, a thing. It can be a feeling. It can be literally anything. It can be the generosity of strangers. So again, you only have 35 words ish, 200 characters. You have a little space to elaborate here, so you can use it if you want to. But again, here you need something for every single one of these answers that says something completely new about you. That's the goal. No overlap here, period.
So let's say you pick the generosity of strangers for what
Yes.
inspires you. You still have additional characters. How do you make that an answer that only you could have written? How would you add to that to either make it more specific or more memorable?
Maybe like when an anonymous donor like sent $1,000 to the foundation you set up for cancer research or something like that.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, great.
I think anything that again reveals something about what you're doing. And also, I mean, I think that these answers can reveal so much more about what's inside, what propels you, what.
On to the next prompt.
If you could teach any college course, write a book, or create an original piece of art of any kind, what would it be? I'm fairly certain this was just if you could teach any college course, and they expanded it this year, which is so fun. I like the flexibility of this question a lot more. And again, this could be, I think students struggle with this because they know that it has to be something that hasn't been done before or something original, which is true in a sense. But I also think I think that no holds barred on what you can create here. Maybe I want to make a graphic novel about writing the college admissions essay.
I would teach a college course on Stephen Sondheim, maybe.
I think that
Like,
exists. I think you got to look that one
well,
up.
but I would make it more specific. I'm interested particularly as a poet. I came to poetry through Stephen Sondheim actually rather than poetry itself. Like I was someone who grew up listening to like Into the Woods, and I think that was like the real beginnings of my poetic brain. And so I think I would probably teach some kind of course that was trying to connect Sondheim lyrics to contemporary poetry.
Okay. Uh book, art, show, college course, whatever it is. I think this is just an interesting way to combine interests. Like, how are you thinking about the way things intersect in the way other people might not be? That's like kind of a fun trick for this one is think about disparate areas of your life and world and how they might combine.
On to the next prompt.
Other than a family member, who is someone who has had a significant influence on you? I think teachers and coaches are like default go-tos here. And I'm not saying they're not contenders. You can write creatively about pretty much anything if you put enough thought and energy into it. But don't limit yourself to those options. You don't have to have met this person.
So you could pick Brene Brown.
I could pick Brene Brown. I would definitely pick Joan Rivers, but I could pick Brene Brown.
Actually, I would pick Stephen Sondheim for this.
There we go. So guys, now you know what we're writing for our Yale essays this year. I need Joan Rivers to make me funnier. So here again, what are you interested? What sensibility do you like to bring to the table? Who has inspired you in ways we might not expect? Again, you can know the person. You don't have to have known the person. It could be somebody else's mom. It could be one of your friends. I mean, it could be like someone that checks you out at CVS every day. It could be like 1 million different things. But it has to show something about what you care about, who you are, where you glean inspiration. So oftentimes we will revisit a question after we're brainstorming with students and find like maybe we're not quite on the right track or we have to adjust our answers. So thinking about someone checking you out at CVS, I don't know that that person necessarily would have had a significant influence on you. Let's like pay attention to that word now, significant. So, but it could be Barbie, who's a fictional person. Maybe Barbie had a significant influence on you. It has to be something you can justify with an explanation of like why, what about their behavior, their representation inspired you or helped you become the person you are today.
I
Right.
also think our examples so far have been sustained interaction, but I think there's an argument to be made for a person that you, if it is a person who's not like Brene Brown, like someone you have met, that it could be a person who you had a short encounter with that was also significant, right?
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Last one, what is something about you that is not included anywhere else on your application? Again, catch all. You have to answer this one. So you have to include something here that is not included anywhere else on your application. So anything else that comes out in the brainstorming that you think might be worth communicating to admissions that feels like, oh, these are leftover like tidbits of things I would love to tell someone. Like if you were obsessed with dressing up for Halloween to a point of like just absolute crazy accuracy, again raising my hand, that probably says something about me. Don't tell me what it says about me, but because I'm 40 and I'm still doing this, but that might be something somebody's interested to know. So what else about you is I don't know, is intriguing, or something else that just hasn't come up on the application yet? Did you live in like 16 different states in 7 years? That probably wouldn't have come up anywhere else unless it came up in the personal statement, which it very well might have actually, because that's a lot of places. But anything else that feels just somewhat interesting about you can go here.
I think that one of the things I ask my students is, what are the 3 stories about your life that you would find most humorous or that are your go-to stories? Because we all sort of recycle these things about ourselves, like especially as you get older. It's probably unfair for me to say this because I'm in my mid 40s, and at a certain point I just know they're the stories that will make people burst out laughing. Like they're the things about me, like I kicked a robber in the face in Barcelona. Like that's a go-to story for me. So if you have a thing that has a wow factor here, I think that it
Or
could be
stories
included.
that open up more questions than they do answers,
Yeah.
like that one.
You don't know that about me? That's a
No,
different
we'll
podcast.
talk about it later.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, overall, this Yale application I think is really interesting because it does offer the opportunity to stuff so much about you in here. Like I can't imagine with someone that really does a good thorough job with this, admissions not coming away with a really clear picture of who you are, especially between this and the personal statement. So even though it is a lot of work, I do think these are like incredible opportunities for you to differentiate yourself. So that's what we're going with, because we got to do it no matter what, right?
That's our episode for today. Thank you so much for listening or watching. If you like our content, please like and subscribe to follow us for more. Happy writing.